Hello everyone, welcome to another video of mine. It's Kemal AA, and this is another Chelsea News daily video for you guys where I've got some massive news to talk about regarding the managerial situation. But before I do get into, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, comment down below your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. But without further ado, let's get straight into today's Chelsea News daily video. Now, starting off with the managerial situation, it's massive. Yesterday I made a review for the Chelsea versus Manchester City game where we lost 3-1 at home. And I discuss my stance on Frank Lampard. It's been for the few weeks now. My stance has been Lampard out. And I'll be discussing all the latest news. There's been some massive news reported by The Athletic and all the latest reliable sources from the UK. All the sounds coming from England that Frank Lampard is under serious pressure for his job now. Now, I mentioned in yesterday's review that if he isn't sacked, this club isn't serious. And I still stand by that. You know, he won't be sacked unless results continue to slump like this until we, continuously go on a steep decline. I understand the club's reasoning for giving him time, but I just think that, the results have been extremely poor, especially recently. And you can see in a post-match interview by Frank Lampard, the tears, like the sadness in his eyes. And it made me upset because, as I keep stressing, I'm a massive fan of Frank Lampard and I love him. But as a manager, the lack of progression, lack of identity, the results, it's too much. It's too much, and we need a proven manager. Now, essentially what the Athletic are reporting is, I'll give you guys the detail of the report, is that Frank Lampard's job is under serious threat. A humbling fourth defeat in 7 matches against a Manchester City side will only intensify the questions about the team's broader direction under the current management team. Sources have told the Athletic that Chelsea have begun to explore alternative plans with a view to replacing Lampard if the current slump continues, if not sooner. This is a fluid situation, and as there is no definite time frame for when Lampard might be sacked, it's possible that he could still see out the season if results do in fact improve. But the history of the Roman Abramovich era tells us that once the conversations of this nature begin taking place within the corridors of power at Stamford Bridge, managerial change tends to become a question of when rather than if. Big words. And as we continue through the detail of the report of The Athletic, they then later to say Lampard has repeatedly cited that quick turnaround as a reason why immediate expectations of this exciting Chelsea squad should be tempered, and there is no doubt that injuries, most notably to Hakim Ziyech, have also had a negative impact on recent performances, but his pleas for understanding are not convincing the key decision makers at Stamford Bridge as they consider the best way to maximise the talent that they of course have assembled. Now, some big words. That was of course written by Liam Toomey, a very reliable Chelsea journalist connected with the club, so everything The Athletic says regarding Simon Johnson and Liam is very reliable. Take it, legitimately, it's serious. And as I kept stressing, this is a serious issue. We are in fact now in a crisis. I don't want to scare anyone, but this month has been atrocious, an abysmal month. 1 win in 6 games. For a club in the stature of Chelsea, that is simply unacceptable. It's not good enough. And that's why I pose the question, is it time to say goodbye? Could Lampard be sacked in the coming days? This is the thing. As the report is stated, we don't know the time frame when Lampard will be sacked, but as it said, it's a matter of when rather than if. The club have already begun this discussion. What I find out the irony with this as well is the report came out seconds after the final whistle against Man City, meaning you cannot draft an article like that in an hour or 20 minutes. This article was crafted and drafted, had detail and time written into it, meaning the club have been discussing options for the past couple of weeks, meaning the club have been thinking about replacing for the last couple of weeks. Which leads me to believe that the club are this close from pulling the trigger. They're already, in my opinion, contacting, agents and, managers' agents and their clients, etc. because, they're getting ready for Lampard's departure. That is, from my understanding, that is from all the top journalists understanding. This is not just me talking from a random news outlet. This is The Athletic from a reliable Chelsea journalist connected to the club. This is serious stuff, and Chelsea are currently in a crisis. You could see in that post-match interview, you could see Lampard, he's fighting. That was fighting talk. He's fighting for his job. He knows he's under serious pressure. He knows. We've got Morecambe next in the FA Cup. We've got Fulham and then Leicester. We'll beat Morecambe. Forget that for a second. No matter how poor we've been, we'll beat Morecambe. But Fulham and Leicester, the next 2 Premier League games, they are vital. They are crucial. If we do not win both of them, that man is 100% gone. Fulham, they're in some good form, and Leicester are a top team. They're not easy fixtures. They are not easy fixtures by any means, by any stretch of the imagination, especially with the form that we're in. But Lampard has to win both of those. He is under serious pressure, and his job is now in jeopardy, as well as our top 4 hopes. Forget the title, we're now 10 points adrift, but the top 4 now is 6 points away from the top 4. We have to start performing. We have to, and I think that Lampard is very close to getting sacked. I've been saying it for a long time now that I am Lampard out. But this is the thing as well. People are mistaking me for this as well. I don't want us to have this managerial merry-go-round. Now, it has brought us success in the past, respectively, but I don't think that is sustainable. It's not. You've seen in the past few years, by continuing this, we're slowly drifting away from the top teams. The gap is ever increasing between us and Liverpool and Man City, between the top elite teams in Europe. We once were there maybe 6-7 years ago, but we've slowly drifted away, and we have to act now. We have made that heavy investment in the summer, but we need a top manager with a proven track record. I wouldn't mind giving this project or job to Lampard in 5-6 years time when he gains a bit of experience. I want us to give managers time, but it has to be the correct manager. It has to be a proven manager with a proven track record, i.e. Thomas Tuchel. I made a fantastic tactical analysis video on Thomas Tuchel. Many of you guys seem to enjoy it. Go and check it out. I'll be doing the same one on Julian Nagelsmann, and I'll be doing a similar one on Massimiliano Allegri, as some of you have requested. Now, as I said, if we give time to a proven manager, then I have no problem with giving time to a manager. I said it the same with Sarri. I was a massive fan of Sarri. Unfortunately left at the end of the season. I was willing to give him time and given the required funds. Unfortunately, Hazard left. The transfer ban happened and the fans didn't want him and he left. But I don't think with Lampard it's a massive risk. He's got no proven track record. He hasn't won a single trophy in his managerial career, and he's got the job based on his legendary status. Well, unfortunately, that is not good enough. We're not a charity, as I said. We are supposed to be an elite football club, run like an elite football club. Aspiring to be the best club in the world. Unfortunately, we haven't got the manager to back that up. And as much as I love Lampard, he's not cut out to be a manager for Chelsea in this current moment in time. Am I saying Lampard is a bad manager? Not necessarily. Am I saying Lampard can't be world class? Not necessarily. He could become world class, but it's too early. He got the Chelsea job in his second managerial season. That is so early. He's proven nothing. He got Derby from 6th to 6th and got to a playoff final, but he hasn't won anything. He didn't even get Derby promoted. For me, unfortunately, that's not good enough. I think that especially with now that he's lost 2 cup finals, with the backing and investment that he's made, we're now, as I said, 6 points off the top 4. The whole point of this window and this heavy investing was to essentially close that gap between us, Liverpool and Man City. That has not happened at all. If anything, the gap's increased. Liverpool have been extremely poor this season, yet we're still 10 points behind them. It's an embarrassment. It's honestly, we should be ashamed of ourselves, not just Lampard, but the players as well, because it's not good enough. And I think it generally is time to say goodbye. Frank Lampard is on the brink of getting sacked, in my opinion. I think that, look, if we lose to Morecambe, he's 100% gone. I'll bet my house on that. But if we lose or drop points to Fulham and Leicester and the performances are not convincing, that man is gone. If he has any hope of saving his job, he needs to start playing players on merit. I said this before, and as the article said, it really is a matter of when rather than if. I think the club have resigned to the fact that he will be leaving. And as the article said, he could potentially see out the season if he wins his next 5 games. It's possible. But do you really see that happening with the form that we're in? I can see that dressing room already splitting. They've already said that they're also concerned by the recent form of Kai Havertz and Timo Werner. 2 German superstar signings that we invested heavily in, and they're both underperforming. And what they're looking at is a manager with a proven track record who is able to get the best out of these 2 players. That is what the article also said. Hence why Thomas Tuchel was very, very high on that list. He also conducted a meeting with Mourinho and Sky back in 2017, and Mourinho was very, very impressed by Thomas Tuchel. Hence why I think that he is our first choice. And I'll be very, very open to seeing Thomas Tuchel. He's also my first choice. We'll have to wait and see. The managers that are on the list to potentially replace him, as they stand, is Thomas Tuchel, Julian Nagelsmann, Brendan Rodgers, Massimiliano Allegri. Those are the managers, and potentially Ernesto Valverde, the ex-Barcelona boss, although we should stay clear of him. But those are the current managers that are in the running for the replacement for Frank Lampard. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But listen, he is on the brink. He's 100% on the brink. You can see the serious pressure he's under. He is 1 or 2 games away from getting the cup. No one can dispute that. And performances have to fix up, not just from Lampard, but the players as well. That defence was a shambles yesterday. You're getting paid thousands of pounds a week, and the defending I've seen was horrific. I've seen under-8s defend better. So it really is to improve. It honestly is to improve. But that is the latest news. Lampard is under serious pressure. He's on the brink of getting sacked, reported by The Athletic, Simon Johnson, all the reliable connected journalists connected with the club. Big news. Big news on social media this morning. What do you guys think? Leave me your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below. If you did enjoy this video, forget to smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I will see you guys for my next video.